Hi, Jen Wehner, team leader here at the Wehner Group, brokered by eXp Realty. Today I'm going to give you a quick market update. There's a lot of very interesting things happening here in the month of October. So I have the Valley map here, and I'm going to give you an update on each one of the areas. This is all based on the Cromford report. Now, the Cromford report is a local economist here. He produces a report every single day. We have news on the Valley. He knows the Valley more than any other person, and they have something called the Cromford Index. Basically, anything over 100 is going to favor the seller. Anything under 100 is going to favor the buyer. Good news is almost every single city is over 100 right now. However, the changes we're seeing in this just in the month of October is we are seeing weakening demand. Now, this weakening demand has been happening in our country, is now hitting Arizona. It's really not affecting prices at this point. Prices are still going up, and it won't affect prices for some time, but interest rates have gone up, and what we're really seeing is just a transition into a normal market. So let's go through the Valley here. I got these little suns for the areas that are doing pretty well. Right now, the best market, the only market that's really seen an improvement favoring the sellers is Glendale. So I'm gonna give Glendale a nice, sunny little icon or emoji there. They're at 165, so clearly a market that favors the sellers more. Now, another area that's still doing really well, number 2 and 3 top cities in our market that favor the seller is gonna be Chandler and Gilbert. A lot of growth in the Southeast Valley, so that market's been really strong. Our number 1 market actually favoring the seller right now is Avondale. A lot of stuff happening in the West Valley. We have the 303, we have growth there. The West Valley is on fire. Avondale just hasn't had a lot of building, so there's really low inventory, and that's really what's affecting the market there. So Cave Creek and Scottsdale, these are markets we do a lot of business in. We are seeing a 5% decline in Cave Creek and 8% decline in Scottsdale. Keep in mind that we're 150 in Cave Creek and 147 in Scottsdale. So still pretty markets that are still favoring the seller more than the buyers overall. However, we're seeing a little bit more increase in decline here. So I'm gonna give Cave Creek and Scottsdale both. Now, there are 2 markets that I want to talk about. One's on the high end, one's on the low end that's seeing more significant decline in demand. The first one here I'll talk about is Paradise Valley. While we're still at 119, still a really good market that favors the seller slightly more than the buyers, we are seeing decreased demand and increased inventory. So that's one of the markets that's been affected most out of the Valley. The second market that's been affected most out of the Valley is Buckeye here. We've got a lot more inventory. That market has declined 16%. So I went over some of the weakening demand, some of the softening markets that we're seeing here in the Valley, but I wanted to show you what the big picture was. If you look at 2003 to 2018, you'll see that here in 2004 and 5, the Cromford Index spiked to almost 350. It was a crazy, out of control market. We saw it bottom out here in 2007 and 8 at almost 25. It was a terrible market. I was in real estate all of these years, and I wasn't paying attention to the statistics like I do today because I survived this. I was selling $25,000 homes in 2008. So what we're seeing, if you look at the long-term line, it's been pretty normal. And it's not something to be super fearful about because our loan delinquency is very low. We're not seeing any of those dangerous conditions that we saw during these years. Most sellers right now have equity in their house. They just don't have to sell. So what does that mean? We're just going to see a decrease in sales, and it's something to be aware of if you are looking to sell, you're not going to be able to overprice your listing and sell with multiple offers like you might have 2 years ago. That you're just going to have to be more aware that demand is not as strong as it has been in the last 3 to 4 years, and to have the appropriate pricing strategy. So that in mind, buyers, there's some good news for you. You should start to see some more options. You should have more negotiating power. Interest rates are still at historical lows if you consider where rates have been the last 30 years. So it's still a great time to buy. It's still a great time to sell. So if you are looking to sell and buy, you're going to have more options on the buy side than you would have the last 3 or 4 years. So I hope this market update was valuable to you. If you would like a more specific market update for maybe a home that you're going to buy or a home you're going to sell, please reach out to me directly. I love to help. Hope everybody has a wonderful day.